All right, shall we? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kevin, CEO of the Cloudtech Group. Oh, sorry. It's been a great honor to sit down here and discuss our topic of today, the future of the blockchain. And I believe in order to look at the future, let's have a quick look at in the past. I will actually start with my topic with a little story. In the Western Pacific Ocean, there is an island called Yap Island. And on the island, people actually use a local stone as a local money. They actually resemble this stone like a donut shape with little holes. Stones can be like in a very small sizes and also the big size. And for the small ones, people just use for the daily trading every day. And for the big ones, it's actually weighs over 4,000 kilograms, and it's pretty difficult to move. In fact, some of them it's actually impossible to move. But the belonging and the assets value is actually verbally announced to the village people on the island. So all the people actually accept the value and the belonging of that stone. From there, that's sort of like the first kind of like distributed ledger. And in fact, the stone could not need to be on the island. There's one time the stone actually suddenly dropped into the ocean because the crew member is moving it, and they actually broadcast the accident happened to all the village people. So all the people actually accept the value and it belongs. That is the oldest blockchain. Due to the technology innovation and the internet happens, everyone knows in 2008, Satoshi actually published the Bitcoin white paper. It's actually the beginning of our industry nowadays. And in fact, that white paper itself still is the Bible for any of our blockchainers. 2009, people the Bitcoin launched, and 2010, the Bitcoin actually first gave the value. Someone actually spent 10,000 of the Bitcoin to purchase 2 pieces. In fact, there were no exchange at that stage. What the guy do is actually go to the Bitcoin forum to actually swap with someone else to get these 2 pieces. But it's a great milestone for our industry. It's the first time cryptocurrency giving a value. Then the next decades till 2017, the industry grows pretty slowly due to the technology and regulations. We have been experiencing a lot of the scam, coin lost. Until 2017, ICO happens. Then following up with STO, IEO, IDO nowadays. And the coin itself is not just mainnet token coin anymore. It's ERC20 and following by ERC 721 NFT, which leading the bull market last year. Then people actually start combining the traditional finance and blockchain technology together. Then here we comes the DeFi. And when the DeFi comes out, it's following up with last year's GameFi, SocialFi, nowadays Step N X2N. It all shows us something like we would like to discuss. Our industry is sort of like a lack of the regulation nowadays. Understandably, in most of the countries now is try to carry out the regulation. But as a blockchainer, is a regulation going to help the industry or not? My point is, it will definitely will. People were afraid of, say, if it's being regulated too much, and people scared to actually the blockchainer are probably scared to actually get in deeper of the industry. But as a blockchainer, we totally understand the industry value is coming from the consensus, and the consensus coming from the people. And which means more people to participate in our industry will actually lead in the more consensus and more value into the industry. How many times you guys have experience with if you try to introduce the Bitcoin or the blockchain technology to your friends, to someone else, the first thing you heard back from them could be don't touch it, it's a scam. That's because there's lack of the regulation, and it's because it is sort of like a lack of the endorsement by the government. So what I'm thinking here is for our industry, the next stage will be fully compliant and regulated by each country. And it will be actually not slowing the development of the industry. In fact, it will be actually help endorse with our industry and make our industry grow quickly. When when actually new regulation comes out, and there's a fourth stage for our blockchainer to participate with: understand it, adopt it, develop it, and we can make it better. I believe as Australian blockchainers, we all understand the Australian Treasury carries out a regular crypto assets, secondary service providers, licensing and custody requirements. It hasn't been actually fully carried out yet, but it mentions different licensing regime to AFS licensing regime. I also mentioned more custodian obligations proposed. Financial requirements would be depends on the service provider and the volume of the transactions. That's something actually going to happen this year, which means most of the blockchain industry and the product will need the custodian requirements. So give you guys a quick example of how to participate or fully compliant for a product. Cloudtech X wallet, which is a really simple wallet we're going to push into the market in the next couple of months. It has three simple functions. First, you can store your crypto assets in the wallet, and you can trade, and you can do the OTC. To fully compliant for this product, first of all, we have been enrolled with Austrac, which allowed us to do the exchange. Then we actually have a retail FSL license, has the custodian purpose. Then we actually got two KYC providers. First one is actually for Australia, and another one is for the international. Then our special professional law firm has created us a AML and a CFT programs. From there, to try to stop the money laundering happens every single day today, we have got a coin tracking providers. And of course, all our coding and all our financial paper documents will be regularly audited by the third parties. And we totally understand the regulation updates regularly, so we will be prepared for every single changes happening in the future. So as you can see, like a very simple product, like nowadays you guys probably use every day. If you need to be fully compliant, that's how much work you have to do behind it. And as I mentioned, the product we're going to push has two KYC providers. The one is actually, one of them is for international. That's because nowadays the regulation is actually based on the region. So I believe the blockchain product is more internationally, and if you want a fully compliance for your product and suit for every single customer in different country, more likely you have to actually suit for the different country and regions regulations. Give you a quick update. Say United States consider the crypto as a security, and European, you have to get authorizations, then you can operate it in European, and UK consider crypto is property. And of course, I believe everyone shouldn't understand in Australia, we consider crypto as assets. So pretty much if you actually good luck enough to make some profit in your trading, you have to pay your tax rate, capital gain. So one side I mentioned, like the next stage of the future blockchain will be fully compliant. But as also we know, the compliance is based on the single country. It's actually a little bit against the blockchain's core idea, decentralized. So what's the next stage for us to be fully compliant, say between the comply with a different country, and to be decentralized is going to be the long topic to discuss. But here's probably a little bit of idea. Maybe we could sort of like formed up a DAO system where be different countries involved, and to carry out the new regulations from this DAO could be a solution, but we don't know yet. And let's see. we're here blockchain, focused based on the Australia, and we do the business between blockchain and traditional finance. And of course, first of all, we are the venture capitals. We did include the startups. Say if you have a startup projects want to approaching, please speak to us. And after we back to Australia, we got all these financial documents ready to go. There will be a few of the crypto funds coming. Please stay tuned. One side, we focus on the fully compliance for the regulation. And another side, we still believe the industry is actually leading by the technology. That's why we actually formed a two joint laboratory with two major universities in Australia. The one with RMIT GreenCrypto Joint Research Lab will be actually focused on the green crypto research, algorithm research. And another one will be is formed up with Monash University and Data 61, which will be based on the distributed cloud storage research. So thank you for today, and please welcome Dr. Han to give us a little bit of updating of the Green Crypto Research Joint Lab.
Okay. First of all, thanks for for Cloudtech and Australian Crypto Convention for providing such great opportunity to present on this exciting occasion. My name is Haidong. I'm an academic in RMIT University School of Computing Technologies. I'm also the Deputy Director and the co-founder of GreenCryptoLab. Last year, when I and my colleague, Professor Zahitari, were talking to Kevin about the problem of high energy consumption of Bitcoin, we found we shared so many views and values in this point. So that's why we established this research laboratory. The mission of our GreenCryptoLab is to design the next generation of green cryptocurrency technologies while minimizing the energy consumption of mining. We also aim to rationalize the use of blockchain-based storage file systems. Those are the research focuses of our GreenCryptoLab. The first research direction is on scalability and performance of the green consensus algorithms. So we know most of the consensus algorithms are facing the issues of low scalability, high complexity, and high energy footprint. So our aim is to design the next generation of green consensus algorithms, which is based on sharding and multi-layered with significant complexity reduction. Our second research direction is to make use of AI for blockchain optimization. To the best of our knowledge, currently most of the applications in this area focus on using AI to design the proof of useful work consensus algorithms. However, adopting AI in consensus algorithms doesn't mean the algorithms will be greener. So, and also most of the consensus algorithms are still in the conceptual phase. So our aim is to develop a test bed for evaluating the energy performance of the current existing proof of useful work consensus algorithms and design the next generation of proof of useful work consensus algorithms. And also, we target to make use of AI to optimize smart contracts to reduce the energy consumption of smart contracts. Our next research direction is to focus on security and privacy of consensus algorithms. As we know, consensus algorithms like POS have encountered the issue of nothing at stake. And some of the consensus algorithms are not purely decentralized, so they are more likely to be dominated by some manners. And also, most of the consensus algorithms face the issue of privacy leakage. So our target is to design a new generation of security mechanisms to address these issues. Our last research direction is green blockchain-based file storage. The current blockchain-based file storage has less accessibility, and also its scalability is not very promising. And also, the file retrieval latency of the file system is low. So we aim to design the next generation of green blockchain-based file storage to address those issues. These are our current lab members. So mostly based on RMIT. And those are our collaborations. We collaborate with other educational institutes like University of Sydney, UNSW, and Monash to conduct joint research projects. And this is our roadmap. So we aim to deliver our product and research outcomes in next year and the year after. And thank you.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Xingliang. Yeah, I'm from Monash University. I'm the faculty member at the Department of Software System and Cybersecurity. I'm also affiliated with Monash Technology Center. So this is also the only university-wide technology center focusing on blockchain in Australia Research Institute. So today I'm very happy to share with you about our recent project with Cloudtech. Basically, it's kind of like we think this is kind of like a next generation blockchain-powered data storage. So what we want to do is we want to try to build a secure and trustworthy decentralized data storage. But in addition to that, we want to enable rich functionalities over the encrypted data. So this is basically our goal. And before we talk about this project, we want to briefly talk about the current collaboration with Cloudtech and the Australian government agency. So first one is that last month, Cloudtech Monash Blockchain Technology Center, we submitted a multi-million grant application to CERSO Data 61 Next Generation Graduate Program. So I think most of you probably know CERSO. This is a national research institute in Australia. And the Data 61 is the department focusing on computer science. And the blockchain definitely is one of the top areas in their research focuses. And this project basically, if successful, so we can have funding from both company and Australia and the CERSO to train over 10 plus PhD students and the master's honors. So, and the second one, which I'm going to talk about today later, is the decentralized storage. We are going to collaborate together. So, okay, so then let's talk about the background, okay, the problem setting. So I think most of you know that the decentralized storage, especially powered by blockchain, are booming nowadays. For example, Storage, Filecoin, those are two like very early pioneers on these areas. So I think compared to centralized storage systems, the decentralized systems have many benefits. So for example, that provides an open platform for sharing economic. So basically anyone who has a computer, he can join. And it is very low barriers for like individuals to provide, storage service for everyone. And but in another hand, compared to centralized systems, there are several issues, security issues. So for example, for the privacy concern. So we know that those nodes, the providing storage services, they normally in the decentralized network, they are loosely regulated. They don't have like a strong power to provide security measures against the hackers. So that's why the encryption method has been used, right? Because otherwise all your data is just plain text and everyone can access. That will cause data breach and violate your user privacy. But different from the cloud, from the centralized service, the encryption method, we have to adopt client-side encryption. So which means that only the data owner has the encryption key. The service provider cannot have the key to access your data. So that's why we have to do the client-side encryption. But the problem is that if you use your own key to do the encryption, so basically there's no functionality anymore. You cannot utilize the data anymore because the service, the node, all the nodes see your data just in a server text chunk, right? So for example, if you want to enable the very, very basic functionality like keyword search, how can you do the keyword search over encrypted data? This is not possible because the service node cannot decrypt the data anymore. So the first challenge is that how can we enable the functionality also over the encrypted data, also with provable security and privacy guarantee. The provable means that we need some crypto guarantee with formal security analysis that cannot be broken by any other, intelligent attackers, even they have your encrypted data. So the second thing is that because we're talking about decentralized systems, so which means that we cannot guarantee those service nodes will perform this functionality for you correctly, right? They may, for example, they may just, lose some control. They may violate the protocol execution. They may return some false result. So this is a different from like centralized view. And the last one is definitely about implementation and deployment. So because we know research is more focused on the protocol and the algorithm level, but when you deploy it to the real world, there is a gap. And there are different settings like private blockchain, public blockchain. We have to select the proper tools to make the deployment in a minimum intrusive way and very lightweight and efficient. So what we want to propose is this kind of architecture. And because the time limitation, we only give you a very high-level brief overview. So what we want to use is very practical cryptography primitives called searchable encryption. So in this setting, as we have the client, we have the blockchain network. So we consider the client have some data. For example, they have a chunk of documents. They want to deploy it in the blockchain network. So what they do is that first of all, they need to do the client-side encryption to encrypt their files, right? And in addition to that, because we want to enable search over encrypted data, what we do is that we need the client, the owner, to generate an index. So because we know that in the plaintext, if you want to do the search, you need the index. So now for the encrypted search, we also need the index. But the index needs to be generated by the owner itself and also encrypted by the owner. So this index will also distribute it to the network, and this index will enable those nodes to perform search over encrypted data without decryption. So this is basically the key technology underlying. And also, of course, the data is also encrypted and can be stored, through just right now the common popular like file storage system like Filecoin. So they also provide this kind of client-side encryption. But this index is a key, IP, a key technology we want to propose. And also in terms of different types of blockchain, we have private blockchain, we have the public blockchain. So the protocol we deploy can be different because for the private blockchain, so the throughput can be higher, so we can deploy the index directly on the blockchain. But for the public blockchain, we cannot do that because the index is large. The scalability is very low. So we have to find another way to make sure this kind of search protocol is also public or verifiable. So to enable this kind of thing. So basically, this is the key idea. And also the security guarantee is that the service node cannot see your data or the queries in plain text. Everything is in the ciphertext domain. And also, because of the blockchain, the query results are auditable, which means that every node can verify the correctness of the query and the result, even they cannot see that. So this is a key idea. Okay, and in terms of the roadmap, we also have like a contract for research, probably with Cloudtech very soon. And this project will be like 2-year project, and we have 2 phases. The first phase is definitely is about the protocol design. We want to have the very concrete technical protocol with very detailed algorithms and also very detailed security analysis. And the second stage is about implementation and to enable different functionality. As I just gave the example is that first of all, we want to do the keyword search, but we know if you want to utilize data, we also need to do some range search. We want to do some data analytics, for example, aggregation over a sequence of data. So those are doable in the encrypted data, as long as we can find the right, feasible cryptography approach. So this is the brief introduction. So thanks for your time and thanks for your attention.